What's up, guys? We're back with the breakdowns. I wasn't planning on doing a breakdown this week because my voice finally came back and people have been asking for me to do the breakdown. Just a disclosure, I'm not going to be betting on this weekend's card just because I have so much money on the card in 2 weeks with PFL and that UFC event along with UFC 308 that I already have in. It's all on the Patreon, $1.99 a month. Patreon, you can just get it up here. It just says Austin Risewing. Patreon, that's all you have to type in. But yeah, I'd rather just save my money, to be honest, just for those cards. I feel like there's a lot more value to be had and a lot more higher payouts. Yeah, I'll get it straight into the video for you guys, try to make it quick. So for Clayton, Carpenter, and Lucas Rocha, Carpenter's -190, Rocha plus 165. At least that's what I have on my Patreon when I broke everything down for you guys. This is a good opener between two young prospects where we will see who is the real prospect. Clayton Carpenter is a really good grappler who has a nice early pace. If taken down, as we've seen in his last fight, he will use his jiu-jitsu to sweep. Rocha is a striker-style fighter who will dish out a lot of volume, but can be taken down, and being taken down by someone like Clayton Carpenter won't be good. I don't think he'll be able to stand up as easy as he did when he fought Davey Bittencourt on Contender Series. I like Carpenter in this matchup at -190 to win. To be honest, he would probably be one of my most confident picks on the card. I just think his grappling's too good, and with Lucas Rocha having a hard time stopping takedowns, I feel like it's just one of those like 1 + 1 = 2 type of fights. Yeah, that's my prediction on that one. Dan Argueta and Cody Haddon. I'm having a tough time on this one. I'm like so split, but I'll get to the breakdowns. Dan Argueta plus 145, Cody Haddon -170. Argueta is a very simple fighter to break down. He is going to pressure his opponent and shoot relentlessly with his really good grappling. Cody Haddon is making his debut after beating Billy Brand on the Contender Series. His only loss on his record is to Steve Ursig, who we all know is a legit fighter. He has a nice pace with some good boxing who will throw in beautiful combinations. You also know his boxing is clean because you will see him work the body a lot. And if you guys don't know, to really tell how good an actual like boxer is in the UFC, a lot of times like they'll have you, right? And they'll work in their like body shots and shit like that. Guys who claim they're boxers but aren't very good, they'll just be like head hunting the whole time, just throwing hooks. When you see him work the body, like that's when you know that's a legit striker. Just FYI for some of you guys. He also, so talking about Cody Haddon still, he also has some jiu-jitsu as well. If you look at his background, you will see he started in karate, then taekwondo, then Muay Thai, then boxing, and then into I already said that. So then boxing and eventually into jiu-jitsu, where he lost in the championship in Perth. Although he has a black belt in jiu-jitsu, I don't know how his takedown defense is, and against a grappler like Argueta, I don't know how he will do. This could be a mauling by Argueta. Not really a mauling, but like a wrestle fuck type performance by Argueta. As he'll just bring that nonstop pace and shoot relentlessly until he gets those takedowns. I probably won't touch this fight, but the dog is definitely live here. I refuse to bet on these Contender Series debuts until I really see them in the UFC. And basically, if Haddon wins this fight, I'm going to be really high on him. Because seeing him against someone like Argueta who's just going to shoot relentlessly, we'll really see like where he's really at. So yeah, if Cody Haddon wins this fight, he's just lock him till he gets to the freaking top, to be honest. All right, sorry for the lack of energy and everything and the voice being like choppy or whatever. I'm coming off of sickness, like I said. I've been sick for a minute. This one was really bad though, over the weekend. And this week, I could barely talk most days. Today was like the first day I was able to like really talk again. So for our next fight, we have... Oh my gosh, where is it? Okay. Tapology switched the stuff around. So Cory McKenna at plus 115 and Julia Polastri -135. McKenna is a good all-around fighter. She has some good striking and some good wrestling, but her IQ is pretty questionable, as we've seen her in her last fight versus Jacqueline Amorum, where she took a world champion in jiu-jitsu to the ground and got submitted. Makes no sense. Julia is also well-rounded, but she has poor takedown defense, which Cory could exploit. But I can't be touching this fight as both these girls are very low level. So once again, I'm going to be fading this fight. I will take Cory, though, if I had to make a pick, you know what I mean, as the dog. Okay, so I'm not going to lie. I didn't even update this. I haven't really paid much attention this week. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've been super busy. I have my test coming up, all that stuff, and I've been sick. So we also released NFL. We've been doing good on there, crushing it. So anyways, Sharaf, I'll be honest with you guys. At this point, I don't know much about him. I'll update everything in my Patreon, though. Junior Tafa. So basically, Tafa is a really good kickboxer who has power and some good technical kickboxing. That's pretty much what he is. He has no takedown defense. I don't know if that's going to be an issue here. I have to see who this guy is. Let's just look at him real quick. Who he's okay. Let's see. 4-0 LXF. I mean, Fight Club OC. Who's the guys? Tafa's gonna win this fight, guys. I mean, I need to do more research. I don't know what style he is. Tafa's gonna win here, though. It's tailor-made for Tafa to win. This guy hasn't fought anybody. He doesn't seem very good from Tapology. I know that's makes me sound like casual. It's because I haven't researched this fight. So just going off that, I think Tafa is pretty much a lock. Yeah, I'll do some research though and see, and everything will be updated on my Patreon. So Niko, Price, and Themba, Gorimbo. I actually kind of like this fight though. I'll probably watch this fight. I'll watch all the fights just so I could keep, like, I don't know, memory of all these fighters, I guess. Kind of like film study in a way. Niko Price, plus 250. Themba, negative 300. So Niko Price is an all-time exciting fighter. He is a good wrestler, but he loves to stand and bang to make for more exciting fights. He has been knocked out a shit ton of times, though, due to that style, which makes you wonder if you could trust him. Themba will look to get fights to the ground, and when he is striking, he likes to fight with his range. I believe Themba will be able to mix in his wrestling in this fight to pick up a win, but I will most likely stay away from this fight, yeah. So pretty much, I think Themba's going to win. He should win. Negative 300 seems like a bit steep. You guys want to throw him in a parlay, you could. He should win. But I don't know. I probably won't touch this fight. I mean, I'm not touching any fights, but if I had to bet, I probably won't touch it. So this is another fight I like. I mean, I've kind of like all these fights on the card. I'm not going to like to watch because I'm a fan of a lot of these people. Jonathan Pearce and Pat Sabatini. Jonathan Pearce, negative 135. Pat Sabatini, plus 115. This is a matchup I really like between two grapplers. Sabatini is a jiu-jitsu guy who is really strong. He has absolutely no striking and no chin after being knocked out by David Jackson, which is kind of embarrassing. Also being knocked out by Diego Lopez, but that's not too bad of a knockout loss at all. He knocks out a lot of people. Pearce is a non-stop come-forward wrestler who will shoot a relentless amount of takedowns. I like Pearce in this matchup here to get the takedowns. I believe his pace will be too much, as Sabatini doesn't have the best cardio. So I wrote that a while ago. I mean, I wouldn't touch this fight because Pearce, a lot of the times you'll see him with, like, just to get the fight down to the ground, he'll kind of leave his neck out there to give his opponents, like, a submission attempt, like we've seen with Brito. That's not happening with... If he does that to Pat Sabatini is going to get the submission. His jiu-jitsu is way too good. This is a super close fight. Odds are what they should be. And another fight I probably won't touch. All right, CJ Vergara and Ramazan Temirov. So CJ is CJ is plus 235. Ramazan's negative 275. CJ is a tough fighter that is a good test for these debut fighters, as he is a journeyman, but definitely a stepping stone to see how good these guys really are. Is their grappling legit? Is their striking legit? Is their cardio legit? He will definitely be a test, and if Ramazan passes this test, he's the real deal, and will be given those easy matchups for the next few fights until he starts having to take some, like, serious steps up. You know what I mean? Ramazan is a really good striker with some ridiculous speed and some good power. I expect this fight to stay on the feet, where I believe he will be the way better striker. His speed should be too much in this matchup. Give me Ramazan. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just think his speed and power is gonna be too much for CJ. He's a really good, super good prospect. 27 years old from Uzbekistan. Yeah, Ramazan should win this fight. I didn't mean to do that. Ramazan should win this fight though. I would say he's safe to add to parlays. But I will say this is the reason, like, I was gonna do him and probably Tafa as a safety parlay, but it's like, I don't know how good Ramazan really is in the UFC, you know what I mean? Like, we could take a look. So it's like, a lot and Ryzen, you know what I mean? And I don't really know these fighters, I'm not going to lie to you guys. But if you watch his fights, though, his striking, he's just so fast. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, he should beat CJ. He should just be the better fighter. It should be a fight the UFC wants him to win. So, yeah, give me Ramazan here. So, Josh Fremd and Abdul, Razak, Alhassan. We got Josh Fremd at plus 135. Abdul, we'll just say Abdul, negative 155. So Josh is a well-rounded MMA fighter who isn't good at anything but more just decent at everything. He does have good cardio though, like really good cardio. Abdul is a really good judo guy, but doesn't use his judo, which makes no sense at all. He kind of just fell in love with his power and his striking, to be honest. He only really loses when he is being taken down non-stop, but I just don't think Josh is a good enough wrestler to constantly get takedowns on Abdul. Both these guys have lost to some real competition and beat bums they should beat. And beat the bums they should beat. I'm going to be taking Abdul here as I think this fight will stay on the feet where he'll have the better striking. But another stay away fight for me. But if you want to add it to like a big parlay, like a 5 or 6 leg, go ahead. I think he should win. So Daniel Rodriguez versus Alex Morono. D-Rod's negative 205. Alex Morono plus 175. Let's see. So this is a good fight. I like that the UFC put together. It's 2 veterans of the UFC that can be fun to watch. D-Rod is a good boxer with poor takedown defense who's riding a 3-fight skid right now, which could easily be 4 fights in a row. Like he could have easily lost 4 in a row. Morono is 2-3 in his last 5 with his 2 wins being against older fighters who aren't very good anymore. Tim Means and Court McGee, who just fought this last pay-per-view. He is well-rounded, but doesn't really use his wrestling as much as he should. He has an awkward style, but probably won't beat D-Rod if it stays on the feet. I make a lot of spelling errors in my Patreon breakdowns. I gotta fix those. Morono should win if he wrestles, but you can't count on him to do that, so I'm not going to touch this fight. Either, if I had to make a pick, I'm going with D-Rod as I think that this fight stays on the feet. And when I say add them to parlays, I just mean like a $25 parlay, which I'll actually probably show you guys at the end of the video what parlay I would do if I had to. Yeah, give me D-Rod here. Okay, so Grant Dawson and Rafa Garcia. It's a pretty simple fight. Oh, it's not simple, but I'll break it down. Dawson negative 440, kind of wide. Rafa Garcia plus 340. This is actually a fun fight I'm looking forward to. Grant Dawson is an animal wrestler who has incredible control. Once he gets his opponents down, it's pretty hard for them to get back up. He only has 1 loss in the UFC through 11 fights where Bobby Green got a fluky KO on him. Rafa is a grappler who will throw bombs on the feet. He is a straight dog who will never quit on himself. He can be taken down, and I'm pretty sure Dawson will get him down and win a 30-27 in a somewhat boring decision as he's just a better fighter. Dawson did show that one fight where he gassed. I feel like that was fluky, though. I think he's just going to control and ride out Rafa Garcia the whole 3 rounds, to be honest. So he's pretty safe. Chidi Big, and Jared Gooden. This is another fight I think is pretty simple, to be honest. This fight is going to be a banger. Chidi is a solid striker who likes to be in and out using his speed. He also has power but really lacks the takedown defense needed to be very successful at all. He's 1-3 in his last 4 fights, being finished in 2 of those fights. Jared Gooden is 2-4 in the UFC, has never beaten anyone good at all. He is tough though, as he has never been finished in the UFC, but can be finished as we've seen in the Impa Kasaganai fight. Impa, one of my favorite PFL fighters. I hope he wins it all, man. I love Impa. I like Chidi here as he is probably just a better fighter, but I won't be putting money on this fight more likely than not. 2 low-level guys. 2 low-level guys. Chidi's the way better fighter, though. Give me Chidi here. Damn, so we're already to the co-main event. Brad Tavares. Like I said, it would go quick. Brad Tavares and John Young. Park. Tavares plus 145. Park negative 170. Tavares is a tough journeyman who used to be the stepping stone for the prospects to get into fighting the best of the best, and soon to be the title. He used to be very tough, but his chin has given out on him recently. He really is just looking old, to be honest. Young Park is more of a grinder style fighter who will keep you up against the cage and then try taking you down. I am going to go with Park here, but another low-level fight I can't feel safe putting my money on. Like I said, I'm going Park here. Sorry, I can barely talk, dude. My nose and everything. Yeah, I'm going Park, but two low-level guys. All right, and for the main event, we have Brandon Royval versus Tatsuro Taira, which I'm super excited for. I've always been a Tatsuro Taira fan. I don't know why I just butchered that. Tatsuro Taira fan. I've liked him since his debut. I've bet him almost every fight, to be honest. I got a lot of hate from sharp people on doing that, but I always thought he was just like a real deal, like the real deal, where he would be ranked. He's going to beat these guys who are giving him one of those type of deals. Like, obviously, I always seen the flaws, but it's like, when you bet, you can't be obsessed with people's flaws and be like, oh, well, he's not going to beat, I don't know, Muhammad Makayev because of this. He's not going to beat Pantoja because of this. He's not going to beat, you know what I mean? Just like people like that. Yeah, you just can't be obsessed with stuff like that because I'm like, okay, he's not going to be a top 3 guy, right? But they're giving him like a guy that's like ranked like 40 who sucks at like defending takedowns. He sucks at that. Like, people, I don't know, it just blows my mind the way people think when they try to bet against these prospects coming up. They always find the flaws. Everyone has flaws. Izzy had flaws. Pereira has flaws. DDP, Islam not really, but you know what I mean. They all have flaws, and it's like, it's only going to get exposed against the top people because they're just that good. Anyways, this is a solid main event for a fight night I like a lot. I love when the UFC puts a prospect versus a top guy for us to really see where they are at versus the best guys in their division. Royval is a very aggressive fighter who is always looking for a finish, whether it is on the feet or on the ground. He will come forward with non-stop pressure and is coming off his best win of his career against Brandon Morono. He does have flaws though, and that is his takedown defense, which is just terrible, to be completely honest with you guys. His only losses in the UFC, though, are to Alexandre Pantoja and Brandon Morono, who are both champions. Taira is a 24-year-old undefeated prospect who has been getting pushed slowly by the UFC. He's coming off the biggest win of his career against Alex Perez, where Perez got injured, so it's like the biggest win of his career, but at the same time, it's like he got injured. So I don't know. You say it was fluky. We will find out how good Taira really is here versus a real guy in Brandon Royval. The takedown issues play into Taira's game, but this is likely a fight I won't touch, as I usually don't touch fights when young fighters have this much of a jump up in competition. Give me Taira here if I had to make a pick. I just think he'll be able to get him down, control him. Yeah, those are my picks for the main card. I'll give you guys a parlay though, because I'm not going to be making any other videos on this. I really want to focus on NFL this week for my NFL guys. And as this being a card I'm not going to bet, more likely than not. Yeah, I'll give you guys a parlay though if I had to bet. So if you guys are wondering, you can see $33 in my account. It's because I have $1,400 down on UFC already. So it's like $1,400 there. Then I have a bunch on NFL. And then I had this glitch where they messed up Bival's decision odds. They put it at like plus 700. I put like 180 on that. So they still owe me a ton of money. They're starting to refund me a little bit, so that'll come in. But yeah, that's where all my money's at. If I had to bet here, I'd go Carpenter. Probably stay away from this fight. No. This could be a good one. I don't know if I'll touch that though. Definitely Tafa. Gorimbo, is that high now? I don't know if I'll touch him there. Probably won't touch this fight. Damn, Pearce is getting bet a lot. Ramazan for sure. Go with Abdul, D-Rod, Grant Dawson, Chidi. Yeah, that's the parlay there. Oh my god, it showed you guys my bets. I didn't even realize. 10-1 right there. 25 to 252. That's the parlay for you guys. I think all guys win. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week when we really start breaking down the cards we really care about.